Okay, Beseder Gamur. Welcome, everybody. We are going to work on Perashat Shavua. This week's Parshat is Perashat Vayesse. I'm going to do a bunch of things. I'm actually going to work a lot on showing us how we could learn very deep messages from one or two words in the Torah, something we love to do. So let's go right to it. I'm ready to go. So let's share screen, and it's Perashat Vayesse. Okay, here we go. Boom. All right, good. So the Torah tells us like this: Vayetse Yaakov mi Be'er Sheva. This week's Parsha, he left Be'er Sheva, he left Eretz Canaan, he left Eretz Yisrael. Vayelech Haran, and he went to Haran. By the way, just for those who remember, Haran is the original place where Avraham Avinu was. Avraham Avinu's brother is still there, right? Nachor. That is where Eliezer went to get Rivka as a wife for Yitzchak. And now Yaakov is leaving. He's actually running away from Eretz Yisrael, and he's going to there. So just a quick one, which is so nice. You know, it's obvious. Everybody asks that question. Once you say Vayetse Yaakov, Vayelech Haran, once you say he went to Haran, he obviously left Be'er Sheva. So there are a lot of explanations, but just quick. This is a quick one. He left Haran. He left Be'er Sheva, ladies and gentlemen, for two reasons. Right? He had a mommy and a daddy. Mommy told him, right, get away from Esav. Daddy told him, go find a wife, because I want you to marry somebody in the family. So therefore, it's very nice. He's doing two mitzvot. Vayetze, right, Yaakov, he's leaving Be'er Sheva to be Mikayem, the mitzvah that his mother said to run away, to go away from Esav, and he's going to Haran to be Mikayem, the mitzvah of his father. Okay, now, listen carefully. Last week, we talked about the Mincha Tefillah of Yitzchak. 2 weeks ago, we talked about, or 3 weeks ago, we talked about the Shacharit Tefillah of Avraham. Today, we're going to talk about the Arbit Mincha, the Ma'ariv Mincha, the Ma'ariv Tefillah, wow, that was crazy, of Yaakov. Now, some of this is familiar, but I hope you're feeling the excitement that I'm about to share. I saw something for the very first time. This time, every time, I have to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making me prepare, because I see things I never seen before. So I guess that makes me a really bad student, because I didn't catch it the first time. But I saw something this week that really confirms something we've said before. So hang with me. Are you ready? So let's make believe some people never heard this before. So let's go. We're going to do the first pasuk in Yud Aleph. This Yud is the first pasuk in the Parshat. Yud Aleph is the second pasuk. Vayifka b'makom. Okay, he's traveling, right? He's leaving Be'er Sheva, going to Haran. Vayifka b'makom. English. He arrives at the place. Vayalen sham, and he sleeps there. Ki va hashemesh, because the sun had set. Okay, seems like a very innocent pasuk, but the Gemara learns something very big from this that we do every day. A side point about Rashi, I'll get to the place. The place that he went was Hara Moriah. I'll get back to that. Says the Gemara. This part you should know, ladies and gentlemen. Yaakov tiken tefilat arbit. The arbit prayer that we have comes from Yaakov. Shene'emar, because it says in this week's parsha, vayifka b'makom vayalen sham. He came to the place and he slept. Okay, so let's slow down. Where does he say that he prayed? Just like in the other two. It doesn't say vayitpalel b'makom. It says vayifga b'makom. Okay, it says kiva hashemesh, that it was the evening, so I know it's an evening. How do I know he prayed? Says the Gemara, Ein pigia ele tefillah. You should know that pigia means tefillah. Shene'emar, and they bring a pasuk, va'ata al titpalel ba'ad ha'amazeh. Who's he referring to? Don't pray va'al tifgabi. He's referring to Yirmiyahu. So I looked it up. Yirmiyahu, Perek Zayin, pasuk 16. The fourth term for prayer is describing Yaakov's prayer as pigia, which means a confrontation. Interesting. Yirmiyahu, ladies and gentlemen, is trying to ask, he's not trying, he's begging God to forgive Bnei Yisrael. He's confronting God. Come on, help us out. Hashem says, Al tifgabi, do not confront me. Do not ask what I'm doing. And that's a Lashon Tefillah. Interesting. Do not pray for these people. Do not raise a cry of prayer on their behalf. Okay, so let's start talking. Why didn't it just say, right? Vayitzpalel b'makom. Have a good day. Like we asked last week about Sicha. Clearly, there's something going on here. There's a pigiyah. Okay, Rivka Cohen is going to tell us from Israel, right? And Ivi Shiv, pagatabi. Maze pagatabi. You can unmute yourself. No, pagatabi. Pigiyah is you hit me. You not hit me like that. You reached me.
You hurt me. Hurt.
Say what?
When you're ready.
Evie?
An affront. So you hurt me. You
hurt me, right? You reached me, like you got my feelings. Okay, it's a funny word. So I'm going to start something that, again, this part you might remember. Let me get to the fun part that I'm excited about. Listen carefully. Yaakov is in what kind of mode right now, ladies and gentlemen? Let's think. Is he in a very peaceful, restful mode? No, go like this. The answer is no. I'm letting you cheat. No, the answer is no. Oh, I forgot. Peggy, I forgot. You didn't remind me. Are we doing this class dedicating Refuah Shlema to Leah Bas Yitol? Don't say Bat, say Bas. Bas Yitol. Peggy should have Refuah Shlema. Peggy, if it is what you look like now, you're doing great. You're doing great. I don't know what you did. Whatever your makeup artist is, love him. He's fantastic. You look beautiful. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, let's think. What kind of mode is Yaakov in? Okay, call on me, Besser. He's in a stress mode. This is not very easy for him. All the time he was in yeshiva, he was doing really well, nice and quiet. All of a sudden, he's got his mother telling him to get the brachot. He's got a brother who's out to kill him. And now his father is telling him, leave the house, leave the Beis Medrash, go to a foreign land, to a place you don't know. And even more stressful, go find a girl to get married. Oh my God, how stressful is that? You see what I say when the Sefreda is not on the Zoom? Already I said it. Yeah. How stressful is that? Go get married. So Yaakov is in a stress mode. Vayifka bamakom. He is praying with confrontation. Hashem, help me out here. Things are not so doing well for me. That's why it says Vayifka. Wow. And that's why it says makom. Makom doesn't mean only place, ladies and gentlemen. Makom is a name for Hashem. And where do we know, where do we see, where do we use the word makom for Hashem? Everybody knows this. A traditional way of comforting mourners to say is Hamakom yinachem etchem. May Hashem comfort you. So we see that the word makom is used when we need comfort, when we're in a stress mode. And it makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, because what does the word makom mean? It means place. We're trying to prove the Uncle Moishi song. You guys want to sing it with me or no? Yeah. Gene, you want to sing it? Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly. What's the next word? Everywhere. Melissa, I saw your mouth. Very nice. Peggy, I saw it. Yeah. Makom. There isn't a place where there is no God. That means, even though I'm in a stress mode, Yaakov is saying, please, I want to find you, God, in this makom. HaMakom yinachem etchem. We go to people who are sitting Shiva, and we're saying there is God in everywhere. Of course, those of us who are seminar people, I actually have the song, I can sing it, but that would be so nerdy. That would be worse than winging the Thanksgiving turkey. Here we go. We all know this song, Achenu. All right, I'll sing it a little bit. Achenu, right? What is this song talking about? Look what it says. People who are in captivity. People, Hashem should have mercy upon them. Bring them from trouble, from darkness, from subjection. What do we sing when we go up, when the song goes up? What do we say? Hamakom yirachem. Ready? Kumsitz time. Hamakom yirachem. Again, makom. So we would like to offer that Yaakov is introducing the Tfilat Arbit, but Tfilat Arbit represents a whole other Tfilah. It represents a concept when a Jew is in stress. He's in stress. And therefore it says, Vayifga. I am confronting God. I'm looking, please help. Bamakom, that Hashem is everywhere. To make this point solid, let me say something we always say, and then get to the new stuff which excites me. Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat. Everybody knows this tefillah. Oh my gosh, it's another Kumzit song, guys. Okay, at the end of this class, we're all going to sing the two Kumzit songs that I just introduced. One is Achenu, and the other one is, okay, Genie Zurak, start singing the song. Let's go. Unmute yourself and sing the song. No? Tov lahodot l'Hashem. No? Okay. Tov lahodot l'Hashem. It's good to give thanks to Hashem. Ulezamer l'shimcha yom, and to sing. Why? Lehagid baboker chastecha. Guys, it's a very important pasuk. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Look at this. We're talking about boker, morning prayers, laila, evening prayers. But we're going to say that boker and laila represent something in a metaphor way. Come on, you know this, guys. Help me out. Metaphorically, boker is, come on, no? Boker is good times. It's beautiful. The sun is out. Everything is great. So lahagid baboker chastecha. In the daytime, we're able to say the chesed of Hashem. Look at that. All my kids are married. Everybody's healthy. The house is great. There's no corona. No one has it. No one's in quarantine. I threw my kids out of the house finally. Yay. That's boker, chastecha. But balayla, the metaphor of Laila, unfortunate, is when things are dark, when things are challenging, when things are stressful, then I have to turn to emunah. Lahagid baboker chastecha. So the shacharit prayer is the chesed, open, boker. But the Laila is pigiyah. The Laila is emunah. Everybody with me so far? You guys are good? A little side point just to validate what I'm saying, and then something unbelievable in the pasuk. You ready? Hang in there. I don't know how many ladies, I don't need to be like, okay. I don't know how many girls pray arbit, but you do pray shacharit. So right after the Shema, right? In the weekdays, shacharit, blessings of the Shema. The blessing after Shema is this blessing. You look at it as emet v'yativ, but you do know that the word emet belongs to the Shema, Hashem Elokeichem, right? And then emet was pushed to there. Okay, but the prayer is emet. So it says, emet, the truth, yatziv, firm, nachon, certain, yashar, enduring, neman, upright, faithful, beloved, cherished, desired, pleasant. You getting a feeling over here? The emet that Hashem, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, that is yatziv. It's obvious, it's firm, it's certain. Why? Because it's the boker, because it's the morning. Morning is light. Very nice. But for those of you who pray arbit, I don't know if you know this, it's the exact same Shema, the three parshiot in Shema. What is the bracha right after the Shema at night? Emet ve'emunah. Because at night it's emunah. So what do we got here? So we have here that Yaakov was mitaken tfilat arbit. Tfilat arbit is a metaphor for difficult times. How do I know? Well, first of all, it's nighttime, like it says, "Lahagid baboker chastecha v'amonotcha b'leilot." But the main proof is lashon pigiyah. This week's parsha, right? Vayifka b'makom. Are we in agreement, ladies? Yeah, we're good. Everybody's good. Now, what happened? He went to sleep. This is brand new. Listen very carefully. I'm very excited about this. He went to sleep. And what happened in his sleep? Guys, you know what happened in his sleep. What happened in Yaakov's sleep? Oh, I see. Mrs. Hamada. He had a dream, right? Yaakov's dream. Guys, remember the restaurant Jacob's Ladder? No? Nobody remember that restaurant? Everything in my life comes back to food. So I don't know if that works for you, but it works for me. So Jacob's Ladder is from this week's parsha. You know that. Hashem speaks to Yaakov. He says, right? He's the malachim going up and down. He promises him everything. Did Hashem ever speak to Yaakov before this? Yes or no? Nobody wants to make a commitment. Rivka's making a commitment. Very good. No, he didn't. So now Hashem is saying to him, I understand you're in a stress mode. I understand that this is hard for you, but I promise you everything will be okay. Can you look at this next pasuk? I'm very excited. And again, I never did this before, so look carefully. And I need some, I hope you're going to have to say yes because I need validation. Vayikatz mishnato. Yaakov wakes up from his sleep. Remember, he went to sleep stressed, right? He went to sleep stressed. Hashem spoke to him, gets up. Can you look at this line? Vayomer. Guys, I'm not making this up, and this is not Midrash. It's right in the Chumash. Achein. Oh, alas, or yes. Indeed. Look at the words. Yesh Hashem bamakom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati. Oh, can I play with this a little bit, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this. Yesh Hashem bamakom hazeh. He's using the word makom. I love it. The makom that he didn't understand. The makom yinachem otcha. There is a Hashem. Now, can you watch very carefully? Please watch. The next pasuk, he says, Manorah hamakom hazeh. He says it again. And then it says, Ein zeh ki im bet Elokim. He uses God's name as Elokim. And in another pasuk, he also says Elokim. But in the first pasuk, when he woke up, he said, no, Yesh Hashem, not Elokim. Can somebody tell me, what is the difference between God's name Hashem and God's name Elokim? Does anybody know? Nobody? Lori. Yes, Lori, what do you want to say, Lo?
Rachamim and Din.
Yeah. Yes. Don't forget, her son's on the market. Yeah, here we go. Yes, which means Hashem is known as the name of Hashem as Rachamim. Elokim is Din. So in this pasuk, when he wakes up, how beautiful is this? Look what he says. Now that Hashem showed me that, he's with me, don't worry about it. You don't understand everything. Yesh Hashem. There is midad rachamim b'makom hazeh. In this same makom that I confronted Hashem, it was a makom. Oh, are you ready now? Ve'anochi lo yadati. What does that mean? And I did not know. I didn't know that Hashem was here. Great. Somebody want to tell me how do you say I in Hebrew? How do you say I in Hebrew?
Ani.
Rivka, do you say Anochi? Is that how you talk? No. Anybody Israel? Evie, you say Anochi? Deborah, you say Anochi? You know who says Anochi? It's a nerdy way to say Ani. Nobody says Anochi. You say Ani holech lechol. Ani holech lisoa. Ani Tuli Besser. You don't say Anochi Tuli Besser. That's ridiculous.
But it's in Aseret Dibros.
Oh, Hashower. Oh, here we go. Who said Anochi? Hashem said Anochi. Hashem said, I want to just show you, Mrs. Hamada, that I'm not playing to you because I have it printed. Here it goes. Vaydaber Hashem Elokim et kol ha'ele Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? Hashem is saying, I run the world, yo. Anochi. I'm the person. I'm the person who took you out of Mitzrayim. I'm the person who puts things in your life. I'm the person who does everything. Trust in me. So let's go back to the pasuk of Yaakov Avinu. How excited is Tuli Besser right now? Here we go. Look at that. Vayomer achen yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. There is rachamim here because ve'anochi lo yadati. I didn't remember that there's an Anochi in this world. Not him. I didn't recognize the Anochi. I didn't recognize enough to have faith in Hashem. And that's why Ma'ariv is about faith in Hashem. Remember, there's an Anochi in the world. What do you think, guys? Good one? Good. No, because it's unbelievable that maybe that's what he says. Let me do 2 little layers of whipped cream on top of the dessert. 2 little layers. First layer is, okay, here it goes, first layer. So what does he say? You don't have to read this. It's nice. Shem Shalom for Al Hirsch makes a difference between Ani and Anochi, exactly what we were saying, that Anochi means love and endearment. Good. Okay, let's move. 2 little layers. Manorah makom hazeh, ein zeh ki im beit Elokim, v'zeh shar hashamayim. Okay, I said it before. What is that place that he had that dream and that he's saying this? Where is this place?
Yerushalayim.
Yeah, where in Yerushalayim? What is it?
Har HaMoriah.
Har HaMoriah. Okay, Rivka Cohen, you live there. What is on Har HaMoriah, sweetheart? What's there? What was built there? Say what?
Har HaBayit.
Har HaBayit, the Beis HaMikdash, was built on there. What else happened on Har HaMoriah previously? Akedat Yitzchak. Wow, that's the message. Yaakov is saying, who was in a stress mode in Har HaMoriah? Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, he had no idea what he's doing this for. He was not clear. It wasn't clear to him. He had to live by faith only. God says, go slaughter your son. That's emunah. It was night. He didn't know anything. Yaakov is saying, the mako, the place to find God the most is when you don't know what he's doing. That's why the Beis HaMikdash was built there. Mano raha makom hazeh. We need to live life not knowing things and having faith in God. That's the goal of a Jew. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not making light of anybody's difficulties. But that's the key here. And that's the key of davening Ma'ariv. Another one little thing. I just want to tell you something that I tell my students. Let me just go back to this and then we'll go to, wow. Okay, it took a long time. Look how David HaMelech sets this up. It's Tov Lodot L'Hashem. It's good to daven. It's good to say thank you. It's good to sing to God. Declare God in the morning, and then declare God when you need him in the faith. Do you notice this is the last thing? David HaMelech is saying, don't only go to God when it's darkness. That's not a good thing. Establish the relationship before, when things are good. Tov Lodot L'Hashem. It's good to always have that davening. It's always good to have, a relationship. And then when you need it, emunat chabelayla. Okay, I really milked this, but it was brand new, and I hope you liked it. And again, do I know for sure that's exactly what Yaakov said? Yaakov hasn't spoken to me in about 3 years. I'm not really sure, but I do know that the concept is real. Okay. I have an amazing, silly question, that actually somebody asked me, and I have a great answer. It's not my answer. That teaches us a very big educational lesson. I want to show you something. So everybody knows the story. Let's go back to the beginning of the parsha. So he came to the place, he's davening. We all know this. He took stones, right? And he put it around his head because he had to go to sleep. He had to put stones around his head, slept on his rock. Okay? Can I ask you a question? Let me tell you what the student asked me. Did Yaakov, yes, let's go here. Did Yaakov, let me look at you when I ask the question. Did Yaakov know that he was running away? Was this a last minute thing or did he know he was leaving? Of course he knew he was leaving, right? And he knew he was leaving for a very, very long trip. You ready for a great question from a simple student who thinks better than me? He couldn't bring a pillow? That's a great question. I didn't even think about that. You're going away for weeks and weeks. Your mother didn't give you linen? What was Yaakov thinking? He knows he's going to sleep over in the desert, right? Or wherever he's going. Did he not bring a sleeping bag? Is what the student asked me. Ladies, you should be impressed that's a great, you know what that means? That means that kid knows how to think. That's a thinking student. I was so impressed. It's a great question. What does it mean he's sleeping on a rock? Why is he sleeping on a rock? Isn't that a good question? I'll tell you what I found, and it's amazing, amazing story. Jeannie, you all right there? Okay, all right. Here it goes. Watch. He took pillows, he took blankets, he took tons of things with him. He had nothing right now. Please look at this medrash. It's an amazing medrash. Vayishak Yaakov l'Rachel. In this week's parsha, he meets Rachel. I skipped, but I'm getting to the point of the answer. He meets Rachel later by the Be'er. Vayisad kolo vayef. He meets Rachel. Okay, I can't answer the fact that why Yaakov kissed Rachel. Okay, let me look at you with this, and I don't embarrass myself. Really? Yaakov kissed Rachel when he saw her? Okay, how about if you ask your rabbi in your shul that question, okay? Leave me out of this discussion. Well, first of all, they were cousins, right? Cousins are cousins. Okay, whatever. I'll leave that to you. He kisses Rachel, and then he cries. Maybe that's why he cried, because he kissed her. I'm not sure. But that's not one of the answers, okay? So here he goes. He kisses Rachel, and he cries. Why is he crying? So there are two Perushim in Rashi. He's had a moment of prophecy that she will not be buried with him. Okay, nice. I'm not saying anything about that. I don't know how that works. Got it. Look at this story. If you never heard it, it should blow your mind. Davar acher. He came to Rachel empty-handed, no presents. He said, Eliezer, my grandfather's servant, had nose rings and bracelets and fruits. He came with 10 camels, right? To marry a girl. And I'm coming with nothing in my hands. Why does he have nothing in his hands? Why didn't he bring presents? Why didn't he bring a pillow? Why didn't he bring a sleeping bag? Says the Medrash. Eliphaz, the son of Esav, had pursued him to kill him at his father's orders. By the way, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Already I feel a little more calm. Maybe this never bothered you. Esav says, I'm going to kill Yaakov, right? Yaakov runs away. Okay, so Esav goes, okay, bye, have a good day, nice. I'm so happy you're running away. He didn't chase after him. Maybe Esav can't leave because he's running the family business, whatever. So send somebody else. Guess what, guys? He did. Makes logical sense to me. He has a son called Eliphaz. He sends Eliphaz to chase Yaakov, and his orders from daddy was, kill Uncle Yaakov. That's what the Medrash says, and that makes sense to me. Eliphaz, the son of Esav, had pursued him to kill him at his father's orders. Eliphaz overtook him, but since he had grown up in Isaac's lap, he held back his hand and said to Yaakov, what shall I do with my father's orders? Okay, I need to milk this because this is a blowout. Can you paint this picture, ladies? Get the image. Eliphaz, the son of Esav, catches up to Uncle Yaakov. He says, Uncle Yaakov, my father said to kill you. But, I can't. You're a good guy. Grandpa Yitzchak is going to be upset. I can't do it. I'm not going to kill you. But what about my mitzvah? What about the mitzvah of Kibud Av Va'em? What should I do? Okay. Can I tell you the halacha? Ladies and gentlemen on this Zoom, if a child in Yeshiva Flatbush says to me, my parents are going to a non-kosher restaurant, they're telling me I need to go with them. Am I doing a sin if I don't go with them? Does anybody know the halacha? Anybody know the halacha?
No, you don't.
You don't go with them. Of course, you have to be diplomatic, but is there a sin of not doing Kibud Av Va'em? No, I'll prove it to you. Open and shut case in the Torah. Torah says in Vayikra, Ish imo va'aviv tirau, a person should fear their mother and father, ve'et shabtotai tishmaru, and keep my Shabbat. So of course, Rashi in the Gemara says, what is what? What is the connection, right? Between what? Between Kibud Av Va'em and keeping Shabbat, says Rashi, says the Gemara, it's not Rashi, Samach Shmirat Shabbat Limora Av Va'en, right? They put one next to the other. That's called the Hekesh. Hashem put it next to the other. They say, although I have admonished you for regarding the fear of your father, nevertheless, if he tells you to desecrate the Shabbat, do not listen to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a halacha in your Redeya. No one disagrees. Let me scare some of the mothers on this Zoom. Do you know the Shulchan Aruch says that if your child wants to marry a certain individual, and that individual is a kosher individual, a Jewish girl, Jewish boy, keeps, does all the mitzvahs, you don't like the girl's mother. You don't like that family. They're Ashkenaz. They're Sephardi. They like to live in Deal. They're boats. Sorry, Lori. You don't like that family. If your child wants to marry that person, halachically, they don't have to listen to you. Zeigezint. That's the halacha. Of course, I would say as a rabbi, let's talk it out. But halachically speaking, If you want to do a mitzvah and your parents are against the mitzvah, you don't have to listen to your parents. That's the halacha. So how many people did I aggravate here yet? No, not yet? Okay. That's a problem. I understand. But that's the halacha. If that's the halacha, ladies and gentlemen, tell me the answer. What should Yaakov have said to Eliphaz? Eliphaz says, my father said to kill you. What am I going to do about the mitzvah of kibbud av v'em? What's the answer? What's the answer?
You take away his money, and then that's like killing him.
No, don't run there. Why do you have to take away money? He asked his uncle a shaila. Uncle Jake, my father said to kill you. It's a mitzvah of kibbud av v'em. What should I do? Girls, guys, give me the answer. What's the halacha? What do you answer?
Don't kill. He's not allowed to kill.
All right, what about the mitzvah? You don't have to listen to your father. That's the answer. That is the halacha. You don't have to listen to your father. Yaakov didn't do that. You know why Yaakov didn't do that? Because my father, may he rest in peace, said, I've always said this, girls and boys, how many books of Shulchan Aruch are there? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Lori, I'm going to take away your A in halacha. Rini, you too. How many books of Shulchan Aruch? No? Okay, so there are 4 books of Shulchan Aruch. Guys, Orach Chaim, Yored Daya, Eben HaEzer, Choshen Mishpat. It was on your final. Okay, 4 books. My father said, no. There are 5 books of Shulchan Aruch. Because you also sometimes have to use common sense. You have to add something sometimes yourself. Yaakov is looking at a child. This is Esav's child. Who remembers from last week? What's the one mitzvah that Esav was the best at? What's the answer?
Kibbud av v'em.
Yeah. And now you got a son of Esav who saw that in his father's house. So this kid is all into kibbud av v'em. He's excited about kibbud av v'em. You're going to tell him now, don't worry about your father. You can't do that. You can't do that. But the halacha says yes. Too bad. Work it out. Now, obviously, he doesn't want to die. So he did what Eleanor just said. So what did he do? He says to him, I'll tell you what we're going to do. He tells him, he says, what should I do? Yaakov says, you know what? Take what I have. Take everything I have. That's why he kept empty-handed, guys, right? Because a poor man is like, it's like I'm dead, right? It's like you took everything away from me, like I'm not, there's nothing in my hands. And that's how you're going to take care of this situation. To me, this is unbelievable. A man is going to meet his wife. He gives away his car. He gives away his money. He gives everything away. And girls, he gives away his pillow. Oh my gosh, his pillow. He doesn't have a pillow. He doesn't have anything. Just that in educating somebody, don't let a kid get messed up, a kid who has a chance to be good. Guys, you have to be impressed with this. This is unbelievable what Yaakov Avinu is teaching us. You got that? So if your child comes home and is excited about something, even though it's maybe a wrong thing to do, somehow let's work it out. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know? Your kid comes home and he says, we have a trip to the nursing home today. And you're saying, no. We're going to grandma and grandpa today. Sorry, you're not going to the nursing home. No. So the teacher, girls and boys, just spent 4 hours telling them how important it is to go to a nursing home. The kid thinks it's the most important thing in the world. You tell him, no, we're going to grandpa and grandpa. What your teacher said is not important. You got to work it out. Say, you know what? You'll go to the nursing home for a half hour and then to grandma and grandpa. I can't think of a better example right now, but that concept. Even if you're right and he's wrong, the kid is wrong, but he's trying to do something good, encourage the something good, even though Allah bad. Okay, everybody got the point? Okay. So we know this next one. I say this every year, but I'm going to stretch it a little bit. I think it's amazing. Okay, last year I remember somebody told me that the original question is not a question. I'll tell you, I don't remember who said it, but let me just get, and then we'll say new stuff. So it says that he took a lot of rocks and he surrounded his head. So of course, everybody asks that when he got up, what does it say? Okay, I hope this is not making you dizzy back and forth. When he got up, it says, Vayashkem Yaakov baboker, vayikach et ha'even. He took one rock, right? Asher samer ashotav. It says that he had many rocks, and now he has only one rock. Okay, everybody knows this question. So I remember somebody telling me last year, it never said that he took a lot of rocks. It says that he took Mei Avnei Hamakom. Does anybody remember that? No? Okay. It says that he took from the rocks. How do you know he took a lot of rocks? So I'll tell you how we know he took a lot of rocks, and then we're going to get to the Medrash. And then we're going to explain it. Let's go very fast. Okay. In Perashat Vayesse, Yaakov took from the rocks of the place. Rav Yehuda teaches, openly says the Medrash, that Yaakov took 12 stones. So it's not because it says Me'avnei Hamakom. He took 12 stones. Now, how did he know to take 12 stones? I don't know. Was that a prophecy? Was that something that God put in his head? Obviously, girls and boys, what do the 12 stones represent? No?
Shvatim.
The Shvatim. So he took 12 Shvatim and he surrounded his head with it. But in the morning, it says there was only one rock. So let me do this quickly. It's one of the most important concepts in our existence. So everybody knows the Midrash. Midrash says, what happened, right? What happened? It says 12 stones and one stone. Here we go. Yeah. The stones started quarreling with one another. Let the righteous man lay his head on me. The other one said, let the righteous man lay his head on me. Immediately, Hashem took all the stones and he made it into one stone and he lied down. Okay. This is called ammunition for anti-Medrash eye rollers. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, there are those. Rini, don't laugh so much. This is like a huge ammo. See, Laura, I didn't even say your name. It's a huge ammo. Like you're reading it. Can you imagine, guys? You're reading this with students who are in high school, and you're saying, so the stones, we're saying to each other, no, I want Yaakov to lie down on me. So Hashem made peace, and he put them all together. Okay, what's going on here? I'd like to tell you what's going on, and it's huge. And that's why the fact that there are 12 stones is very important. And you know something? It could very well be that Hashem actually made such a miracle. And he's giving Yaakov the most important lesson as being the father of the 12 children. Now, you do understand that Yaakov is unique. Why? Because Abraham is Am Yisrael. Is all of Am Yisrael come from? No, let's go backwards. Is everybody Abraham had Am Yisrael? What's the answer? No, he had Yishmael. Is everybody that Yitzchak had Am Yisrael? The answer is no. He had Esav. But Yaakov is B'nai Yisrael. Yaakov is Yisrael, right? B'nai Yisrael. Here's the answer. And please remember this and please share this because this is very important. Share it with your kids. Okay. I'm going to explain the Midrash with a better question. So the rabbis ask, so try to imagine, right? Each rock wanted Yaakov's head on it. Good. So what did Hashem do? Put it into one big rock. So the rabbis ask, now that it's a big rock, Yaakov can only lie his head on one part of the rock, so the rest of the rock still doesn't have it. And the answer, everybody understand the question? Or was that too fast? Everybody got the question? And the answer is the following. Our sages tell us that a person is envious of everyone with the exception of his child or student. Envy is a natural feeling. It's just a natural feeling. But if your kid does something better than you, or your student does something, I have to tell you before, I'm going to stop for a second. I want everybody to be jealous of me right now. I'm going to tell you something that you should be jealous of. You ready? Last night, I had PTA, and the week before. What's the night? Tuesday? No, 2 nights ago, Monday night. It was a Zoom PTA. It was fantastic. I went through all the names of the people that I saw. Are you ready mathematically? All right, here we go. 68% of the people I spoke to were my former students.
Wow.
How cool is that? 68 to 70% of the parent body that I spoke to were my students. And when I spoke about their kids, I was getting the I was like shepping, as they say in Sephardic. I was shepping. I'm talking to my students about their child. Who's my student? Jealousy? You know why? Because they belong to me. That's why. Because they're part of me. Your child is part of you. You'll never be jealous of your child, ever. Or your student. It's like a child. Oh. So, and that, you know that's true. There's not one person on this Zoom who's ever jealous of their child. If your child is, I mean, what are you going to tell me? If I tell, I'll never say this, but if I see you and I tell, oh, your daughter, she's so much prettier than you are. Okay, I'll never say that. But I'm hoping that no one here is going to go crazy on that, Okay, here we go. So, okay, so you got that, right? Stronger someone, it's not the opposite team. We don't feel threatened. Children are the same team. Okay, we got it. So the answer is, everybody understand what Hashem, what this Midrash is teaching us? The most important thing, that Hashem wants us to feel like we're fam. You got it? Take the 12 stones, and when they're separated, when they think they don't belong to each other, when something nice happens to one person, so I'm jealous. It's the natural. How do you break that jealousy? Really, because I said somebody's prettier than their mother, that's why she can? Okay. So what's happening is that's not jealousy. So Hashem said, look, Yaakov, look what you have to do. You have to take your children and make them feel like they're one. So when something nice happens to the other one, it happens to them. Isn't that a nice point? And I think that's the nikudah. That's the nikudah. Did Hashem actually put the rocks together? You know something? I don't know. But even if he did, or if he didn't, that's not the point. The point of the Midrash is to teach Yaakov what's going on. Okay, I got to move. It's 10 to 12. Okay, and therefore, I'm going to skip this next part because I want to get to the part after that. Okay, why am I not sharing screen? Okay. So, all right, okay, we'll skip all that. Okay. I got to show you because we're talking about jealousy. I must get to this page. It's something it might disturb you. It might disturb you when you see something. So I want to address it. So obviously, one of the most important, okay, let me stop share. I'm not going to spend time on this next story because I do it during the time of Tisha B'Av. We talk about it. But it's in this week's Parsha, guys. It's in this week's Parsha. If you want to talk about somebody being happy for somebody else, somebody being happy and okay with somebody else getting what they got, it's this week's Parsha. The heroine, right, of our nation. Her name is Rachel Imenu. Who doesn't go to Kever Rachel? Why is Rachel the heroine, right? Called B'Raman Ishma, because Rachel was the only one who Hashem listened to when he destroyed the Beit HaMikdash. All the avot, all the great people prayed to Hashem, please forgive our children, please forgive our children. None of them were answered. The only person that Hashem said yes to was Rachel Imenu. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, Kever Rachel is the place of prayer. It's the place of a person who was able to convince Hashem to save the Jewish people. What was her argument? What was her case? So it's in this week's Parsha. We all know that Yaakov said to Lavan, right? Remember, he met Rachel at the Be'er again. The Be'er, there's so much to say. I don't have time right now. He saw her. He took the big rock off the, he showed he was a strong guy. We have to learn about that too, but I don't have time. Bottom line is he tells Lavan, I'm going to work 7 years. And he does. And of course, Lavan sets him up. We do till today. Everybody knows this. Girls, we do it in Ashkenaz and in Sepharad. By the Sephardim, we usually do it at the Ktubah signing. By the Ashkenazim, it's the rabbi does it right under the chuppah. He turns to the Chatan and he says, look, is this the girl you want to marry? And we think that's the stupidest question in the world. No, I'm just paying $400,000 to this wedding just to say hello to this girl. Of course, this is the girl I want to marry. What kind of stupid question is that? It's not a stupid question. It's an old custom because of Lavan. Okay, everybody knows this. How did the trick work? Because Rachel gave the simanim, exactly what the simanim were. I don't know, cow jumped over the moon. I don't know exactly what the siman was, but they made up between themselves that we all know this. So Rachel gave the simanim, and therefore, Hashem listens to Rachel. You have all this, everything I just told you, right? I could not allow my sister to be humiliated in public when the ruse would be found. To protect her dignity, I gave her my simanim, which means, guys, that Rachel was willing to give up everything. She had no concept that Yaakov would marry her again. for her sister. I think it's a very important story. You should tell it home. And you know what I always say, guys? You know what I always say? You know why it was even a bigger chidush? Because it was a sister. How many kids of yours are the nicest of people out? Oh, let's take care of Yachad. Let's go to these people. Let's do chesed mission. Take care of Rivka Cohen soldiers. But your own sister? Get out of here. I might ever give her my room. I might ever give her my brush. She's wearing my sweater. Why is everybody like nodding now? Everybody's like nodding. Everybody's nodding. Okay, good. Very good. So it's your own sister. That's amazing. Okay, I'm done with that. We know it. Here's something new. So I just told you that we're all Am Yisrael. We're together. We love each other. We're not jealous. We're willing to give up my whole life. Yeah? Okay. I never did this before, girls. So listen, guys, listen carefully. Everything's so nice, right? Oh my gosh. Chapter 30. Rachel has no children. Leah is having the Hasidic family plan. Okay, she's popping them out one after the other. She lives in Borough Park. Vatere Rachel kilo yalda liYaakov. Vatikane Rachel ba'achota. What did you say? What did you say? Vatikane Rachel ba'achota. Girls, boys, what is that word? What is that word?
Jealous.
Jealousy? Rachel Imenu? Jealousy? It's the Torah talking, guys. This is not a comic book. This is God saying that Rachel is saying, girls, not only thinking, she's saying it. Vatikane Rachel b'achota. She knows that God's writing it. How is that possible? You know what the answer is? There's nothing that God puts in this world that doesn't have a positive thing to it. Nothing. Kin'ah is only bad if it's used in a bad way. I'm going to prove it to you. Says Rashi. Vatikane Rachel b'achota. Kin'ah, she was jealous. B'ma'asim hatovim. Amra, says Rachel to herself. Ilulei shetzatka mimeni lo zachta libanim. If she wouldn't be more righteous than I am, then she would not have merited children. Look how a Jewish girl looks. If Leah is doing well, it's got to be that she's a tzaddiket. And therefore Rachel said, I'm not jealous that she has children. God forbid, she gave away everything to her sister. I'm jealous of how holy she is. And what is the goal of that jealousy, ladies and gentlemen? It's a motivating force. Rabbi Besser is now introducing to you, yes, jealousy to be used as a motivator is healthy and good. Yes. Yes. Are you ready? How many people say, do not give out marks on tests? No, don't say. Just say, nice, not nice. I'm sorry. I will tell you, teach your children. If another kid got a 98 and your kid got a 90, don't be angry at the person who got the 90. Say to your child, you know what? You're a beautiful girl, but maybe if you would study a little harder, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll be a motivator. Nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with competition. Nothing. And how do I know that's right? First of all, because I said it. Oh, that was disgusting. I know it's right simply because the Gemara says so. I know, that was a joke. Can you put this on your oh, I can't highlight it here. Put this on your refrigerator. Kin'at sofrim tarbe chokhmah. Kin'at sofrim tarbe chokhmah. It's a Gemara. The envy of sofrim, situations where Kin'at sofrim increases wisdom. According to the Talmud, if competitiveness can be harnessed, of course, to the goals of improved learning and teaching, so much the better. I'm going to tell you something. You know, Rivka's on the line, so I want to tell you something. Okay, let's talk about me. Why not? I'm talking. Can I tell you that some of the things that I do in school with you, some of you on the chesed missions, were motivated. I wanted to have what other people would. I really want. I'm not jealous that I don't like them. Not jealous because they're destructive. I look at a video and I see people going into a hospital and they're giving out toys. I say to myself, I want that. I want that. I want to be that person. Yeah, I'm jealous. What's wrong with being jealous? That's not a negative jealousy, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good jealousy. It motivates you. This is what I want. I want to have that happiness. I want to have that religion. I want to be able to daven like that person. I don't even know the person. I see him at the kotel. He's davening with Kavanah. I'm jealous of him. I don't wish him bad. I'm very happy for him. But I wish I could have that. That's allowed. Guys, it's a very important lesson. I've never taught this lesson. It's a very important lesson. And it's so stark because it's so unbelievable contrast that the one who gave away everything in her life, Rachel, she's the one that's jealous. Impossible, right? That's what we learn. Good lesson? Okay, good. I always say that, and I'm thinking, who's going to go like this? All right, guys, I have 2 minutes. I'm going to run. I'd love to do the last page because it's Thanksgiving, okay? So we know the last page, but I'm going to add something that maybe you don't know, and then a nice saying. Okay, what do we got? 4 minutes. Okay, here we go. So this is this week's Parsha. Leah has Yehuda. We all know that. We are called Yehudim. Why are we called Yehudim? Because the fourth child was Yehuda. And she says, everybody knows this first part, so go fast. Vatomer, and she said, Hapam, this time, Odeh et Hashem, this time I'm going to thank the Lord. Al Kain Kara Shemo Yehuda. Therefore, she called him Yehuda. Vatamo Miletus. Everybody asked, why? What do you mean now? She didn't say hello. She didn't say thank you for the first three kids. Says Rashi, Shinatalti Yoter Michelki. That's why Me'ata Yeshli Lehodot. Okay, quick, which means everybody knows this, and this is the most important thing. That, of course, she said yes, the first, second, and third, but the first, second, and third, she assumed she's going to have, because mathematically there were 4 wives. They knew they were going to have 12 children, so she thought she was going to have 3. But she had her fourth, much more than I thought I was going to get. That's the Nikuda of Yehuda. A Yehudi has to walk around thinking, whatever I had is more than I thought I was going to get. We know all this, right? We don't have to explain. We got it. But this is strange Gemara. Look what the Gemara says. The Gemara says, from the time of creation, there was no person who praised Hashem until Leah came and thanked him upon the birth of Yehuda. Could it be that Leah did not express thanks? Oh, we did that. Is it possible that Abraham, Yitzchak, Sarah, Rivka never thanked Hashem? Which means the Gemara said, no one thanked Hashem like Leah. What did Leah do more than other people? Listen carefully. It's a beautiful answer. It's not my answer. It's a beautiful answer. And I'm going to introduce the answer with a very famous concept. There's something called a Korban Todah. Korban Todah, right? Same word. Todah, Lehodot, Yehuda. Everybody on the Zoom knows this next part. Who brought a Korban Todah? Guys, come on, you know this, no? 4 individuals are obligated to thank Hashem through a Korban Todah. Thanksgiving offering. Thanksgiving. Somebody who was sick, somebody who got out of jail, somebody who crossed the sea, across the desert, which means somebody who was in a what? Somebody who was in a sakana mode, right? In a dangerous situation. He brings a Korban Todah. Okay, listen to the insight, and let me explain to you what Leah did. Okay, I'm going fast, but you'll get it. What happens? You know what Todah really means? Todah means when you're in a mode that you really feel, you get it. You feel grateful that you're okay. And unfortunately in life, girls and boys, I'm so sorry to say so, most of us don't feel that till we're in a sakana mode. And when we're in a sakana mode, and now we're better, whoa, we grateful. So Korban Todah, just the word Todah, real Yehudi, real Yehuda is when you're feeling that. You guys with me? But the problem is, I shouldn't say problem, that's a terrible word. The blessing is that we don't feel like that all the time. You know, we felt it, right? We felt it a day ago, next day, you lose the feeling, right? So look how beautiful this answer is. This is so beautiful. It's Rabbi Franz. He quotes Rabbi Pam. Explained that when one achieves a happy milestone in life, marriage, a newborn, financial achievement, one heart overflows with joy and gratitude. Yet, as time passes, one gets used to the good fortune and the joy begins to dissipate. as happiness is burdened with responsibility to provide for a spouse, to raise a child. Okay, exhaustion, right. Oh, so we forget about it. Look how beautiful this is. Leah understood this psychological phenomenon. As the happy mother of a fourth child, she wanted to permanently ingrain her initial simcha that it should not diminish with time. Therefore, she put the word thanks in her son's name. Get it? It's not that she was so grateful. She understood that there will be days that she forgot. So what did she do? She called him Yehuda. And every time she calls him, she'll say, oh, it's Yehuda. I remember why I called him Yehuda. How beautiful is that? That's what Leah did. Not stam call him. She did something in her life. You understand? That will remind her daily of what took place. I have so many examples, but it's 5 after 2. I mean, which means a person should not only be grateful at that moment, but be proactive. Do something. You should know, I'm not going to go through this because it might embarrass people. I know somebody who went through a specific situation. They have a picture in their living room, not of the bad situation, but of something that reminds them of that situation. It reminds them. Let's remember. Remember we're alive. Remember we're okay. Remember that moment. That's what she did. How beautiful is that? No? I thought it was beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to end. I'm going to skip the last part. It fits so well now. I saw a beautiful saying from Rabbi Sachs. You know, I'm going to try to do one every week. Says Rabbi Sachs, especially for Thanksgiving. Okay, how come it's not moving up? I have to move this away. Okay, here we go. No? Okay. Here he goes. Oh, okay. Can you see it? Yeah. Making a blessing over life is the best way of turning life into a blessing. How beautiful is that?
Nice.
One more time. This is Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Livracha. Making a blessing over life is the best way of turning life into a blessing.